When I first started to think about songs that have to deal with conflict, immediately a bunch of different relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend type songs came to mind, and it just seems that those are the type of songs that most that are the most common with conflict in humans. Probably because like relationship troubles is the most common type of conflict, and as such, all five of the songs that I picked have to do with those kind of relationship troubles. The first song I picked was "Don't Let's Start" by They Might Be Giants because I think it does a really good job of encapsulating my style of conflict. Like most They Might Be Giants songs, the lyrics are kind of hard to understand because there's a bunch of stupid, weird metaphors. But when you look at them, really, like they make sense. In the chorus, the lines "Don't let's start. This is the worst part" shows a narrator who does not want to start an argument with his significant other, and just same with me. I would love to avoid conflict if possible. It makes me uncomfortable most of the time. I just would rather not. Another line I connect with is D, world destruction, over and overture, and do I need apostrophe T, need this torture? And that's really just because I like the writing style, and also arguing with like the people I really care about, and like really arguing, not just like, oh, I like the Celtics, you like the Lakers, let's argue about that. Like really arguing, it just is torture for me. I really don't like it. Like I love to argue about sports and music, but like politics and stuff that people really get angry about, I could take it or leave it with a lot of people because a lot of people, you can't argue with it without it getting really impersonal. Why I choose avoidance, I mean, is also explained in the song. The lyric, they want what they're not, and I wish they would stop saying deputy dog dog a ding ding deputy dog a ding ding deputy. And that perfectly shows why I think a lot of conflicts between two people are pointless. Like when two people disagree on like politics, one argument with their friend is not going to change their mind. Like even if you can prove verifiably with facts that they're wrong, if someone's a Republican, been a Republican their whole lives, and their parents are Republicans, you're not going to change their mind. And most arguments are just two people shouting at each other like the song's saying. They could basically both be saying deputy dog dog ding ding deputy duba because that's all the other person's hearing is nonsense. They're not listening to anything you're actually saying. It reminds me a lot of the police song dee doo 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 da da da. Just because like when people argue, I feel like a lot of the time that's all it is. It's just nonsense coming out of their mouth. And neither side's really gaining anything. So that's why I choose avoidance, and I think the song does a good job of explaining that too. The next song I chose is "Erase Me" by Kid Cudi and Kanye West, and like all the other songs, really, it's a song about a failing relationship. And in this relationship, Kid Cudi is still fully invested. He wants to make it work, but the girl is kind of done with it. She just wants to get rid of him, wants him to leave. And I think everyone's been on both sides of this conflict at some point in their lives, whether it be at like an actual romantic relationship or just like a friendship where you don't want to be friends anymore, or they don't want to be friends anymore with you, but it's hard to just like friend break up with somebody. It's not as easy as in a romantic relationship. And this represents the dialectical tension of autonomy versus connection. And that's very relatable, like I just said. And although right now in my personal relationships, I don't really see it, at least for me, I'm sure there are many examples in the past. Well, I'm not sure. I know there were many examples in the past, specifically in the transition from elementary to middle school and then middle school to high school, where some of my old friends and I just kind of drifted apart, whether I wanted to or not, or whether they wanted to or not. And I think it's just how it works in those transitional periods. One of the lines that I think captures this thing well is, "I think she hates me deep down. I know she does. She wants to erase me," because that just shows like even if it's not as strong as hate, like most people can really just feel like deep down this friend doesn't want to see me anymore, and then they want to erase you out of their lives pretty much. I think another line that works well with the theme is, "I keep on running, and nothing works. I can't get away from you." And that's actually from the perspective of the girl in the song, how like she keeps trying to get away from him, but she wants her to be autonomous, but the connection is she can't get away. And like whether it be like rejecting someone from the school dance, like personally in my life, whether like that or like someone that doesn't want to hang out with me, we go to the same middle school or high school. Like I'm gonna see them every day. They can run all they want from me, or I can run from them. It's just gonna be awkward because I'm gonna see them in school. Well, not anymore, but I mean in my past experiences. Overall, I just think the song showcases the tensions between connection and autonomy really well, especially because in some of the lines it uses the words like escape to try to like show like getting away from the other person, and how like escape is like that's a pretty harsh word for like I need to get out of this relationship. The third song I picked is a song that helped me maintain my relationship with my girlfriend right now, and it also in the song it kind of shows a song which has some conflict in it, which it kind of is doubly good for this. So over the summer, I got really into this song called "A Theme from a Summer's Place" by Percy Faith and his orchestra. And it's like the classic like calming orchestra song. It's like doo 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 doo. Like I just loved it. I don't know. I just listened to it all the time. So after playing for a bit, Meredith said she recognized the melody from somewhere, but she didn't really know. And then after a couple days, she showed me "Birds Don't Sing." And in this song, which I've never heard of. But in the song, there's like the melody is, I feel like it's clearly inspired from a theme from A Summer's Place. And from there, I really liked it. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. And it kind of became our song of the summer for us, where we just like, we would always listen to it when we hung out, if we drove someplace together. And like, whenever I hear it, I think of her. And like, it ranked really high in both our Spotify year-round list, which kind of just shows how much we really both liked it. And it's kind of funny too, because the song itself is about like a failing relationship, which is hopefully not a bad omen for us. But like, the lyrics just show like a really poor conflict management style. But that's also kind of the point of the song. One of the lines is, she isn't crying, she's just making conversation. That just shows how bad the relationship is if, she's like crying is just her way of making conversation. And then the guy sees the girl crying and it's just like, whatever, not a big deal. Another line from the song that just shows a bad like communication is, girls don't call and they never tell you why. That's just how they say goodbye. That's like a really pessimistic view of it. That has to go with ghosting, like we read about in the chapter. It's just like probably not the best thing to do, but the song itself reminds me of my girlfriend, and it's too late to change that now, so hopefully it's not a bad sign. Well, the fourth song I chose is Be Kind by Marshmello and Halsey, and it represents a conflict style I can really relate to. So in the song, it depicts a couple in which there's this super closed-in guy, like stereotypical super closed-in, and this girl is trying to do everything she can to make the guy open up for him. And so I've been the guy in a lot more times than I'd actually like to admit, when I bottle those things up inside and try to hide it. And I hope others won't judge. So like the song, I can really relate to it with lines like, you can cry to the one, always confide in the one that you love. That's just like something, I've actually probably heard, not exactly that, but close to that on occasions. And depending on the topic, I've probably said that to other people. Because one other thing the song has really taught me too is that I've been on the side of both sides of almost every kind of conflict there is. And how like, a lot of my friends, manly men, that try to like just hide everything themselves because they think they don't need anyone else to get through crap. And I just like, the song has taught me kind of like, there's both these roles of like the stereotypical manly man, like the caring woman. It's just kind of like baloney. Like neither of those really exist. It's just like, just kind of all taught to us. Like either both guys and girls could be really good at communicating and helping solve each other's problems. But so back to like the song and the lyrics. So like, even though I typically like avoid conflict, there's been times where I've been the agitator with my friends because like I know they need to talk about something and they haven't. And Be Kind has helped me like realize like I could be the agitator more because they can be kind to me, I can be kind to them and stuff. Like they can confide in me. And it just has helped me understand more just like both parts, not just like the closed in man part, but like man part. But like both parts. And more than anything, this song has helped me like see conflicts from multiple perspectives at one time more than anything else. The fifth and final song I chose is Exile by Taylor Swift and Bon Iver. And so this song really shows like, if you want to communicate me something that you should know. And this is being like, tell me what you want instead of just expecting me to be a detective and figure it out through hits. So the song's like a slow emotional like ballad. And the main crux of the song is Taylor Swift and Justin Vernon, who is the frontman for Bon Iver. They're singing back and forth. You didn't even hear me out. You didn't even hear me out. You never gave me a warning sign. I gave so many signs. So both singers sings both parts. So there's not like one part I can like agree with. But when I listen to it, I just like, I hate like, I gave so many signs. Like it just bugs me because like that's really expecting like the other person to be good at like knowing what those signs mean when you could have just said, hey, X is bothering me. Can you stop Y? Instead of saying like just like hints about that. And I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good on picking up nonverbal communication and sarcasm, but like I'm not great. I'm not the greatest in the world or anything. Like it's just a lot more helpful if you just would tell me. And like it's kind of funny too, because like as I was writing this, like I was realizing that I'm a kind of a hypocrite because a lot of times I would give those signs because like I said, I like to avoid conflict. So instead of saying, hey, this annoys me, I'd just give a lot of hints and like hope they stop without me having to like cause a conflict. So maybe that's going to be something I'm definitely going to try to work on in the future. And like another lyric that like goes with this is, I never learned to read your mind. And like that just shows why I don't like the sign giving thing. Like you can't expect people to be mind readers. And like I know it's a stereotype that guys have trouble reading each other's emotions. I mean, and just other people's emotions in general. And I don't really feel like it applies to me too much, but like it's just aggravating when like people expect you to be a mind reader when it's just like, just tell me. You just have like this ability to say, hey, X bothers me. Can you stop it? So if you're going to communicate with me, I just ask that you tell me things rather than make me guess, because I'm not going to be right 100 of the time, and I don't want to cause like an argument because I'm wrong about guessing what you want. So this project overall actually has made me realize like a lot of the flaws in the way I communicate. Like I've always known that being an avoider is probably pretty bad when it comes to conflict. Like there's a lot of conflict. Like I should probably just solve right there instead of just like giving those hints. Like I just said, I got really annoyed by. But so this project has really actually like shown me like stuff I should do better. And so hopefully, not hopefully, I'm going to try to work on fixing that, and then hopefully that works. But I just thought it was interesting.